Okay, so the Buccaneers lose to the Houston Texans, but Baker Mayfield was legitimately great in this game and deserves a lot of credit for what he and this offense were able to do. And in fact, so I'm a Tampa Bay fan, if you're unaware, and I was kind of sitting here saying, like, wow, this offense is doing exactly what we want. I was ready to make a video saying, hey, look out for the Buccaneers. Look at what they're doing. Unfortunately, their defense was terrible, and their coaching is still a mess, but a lot of really good stuff by Tampa Bay and by this offense. So I do want to talk about that as well. So yeah, let's just get into what Baker and this offense did well. This play is exactly what we just need to see more of from Tampa Bay, what I want to see more of. And if they're going to make the playoffs this year, they have to be able to hit on these types of plays where, this coverage has given them all kinds of trouble this season. Quarters coverage. Basically, teams know Tampa Bay not the best at running the football. But obviously, you can't just have a single safety deep where Mike Evans will, get touchdowns on every play, it seems like. So teams kind of just know the book is out. This is the way you have to play this team. So for Tampa Bay, what they're doing to counter that is they're going to say, hey, okay, we don't have to run you out of quarters coverage. That's the easiest way to do it, but they're not great at running, so figure out a different way. They're going to run a play action and have Mike Evans go in a little gap in coverage, underneath the players who are supposed to cover deep. Watch as when Baker runs the play action that moves the linebackers further in, and now Mike Evans is isolated one-on-one with a defensive player whose main job on this play is to not get beat down to field. So instead, Mayfield's going to make this throw, and you're able to still pick up a 15-yard gain. That's an explosive play right there that you're able to make really, easily. This is just what Tampa Bay needs. They need to have more of a consistent offense, right? You need to be able to have these consistent plays. Your offense can't just be throwing the ball up to Mike Evans. You have to be able to get situations like this. And going over here, when things were working, play action was a big part of what was working. This is going to be the first play from scrimmage, and it feels like this was a decision that they made of knowing how teams are going to play them. Let's make sure that we can get linebackers out of position. I do think that play action for Tampa Bay is going to be key. Watch as Mayfield's going to take the snap, and there was a penalty for a offsides. I thought it was pretty close. I didn't think they had to call it. It looked like he kind of timed the snap, but whatever. It is called, and again, you get a player to move in. Cade Otton is the one who is going to try to get past, and you see there is a window here. Watch Mayfield with the quick throw. They're able to pick up, again, easy explosive play. That's what Tampa Bay needs, and that's what they're able to do. And it does feel like they, coaching wise, made a conscious shift to try and make things like this more possible and just easier to accomplish. Also, heading over to this play, again, it's that quarters coverage. This is early on in the game. And I don't even know if they're trying to get a first down on this play, but this is still the kind of thing you want to do, which is, again, create these concepts of having a short passing game. The short passing game is another thing that has had its issues, so try to figure out a way to make it happen, where what's going to happen on this one is you have your receiver who's second closest towards the bottom of the screen. He's going to run a route that's essentially just trying to take away the Houston player covering the flat. Then you have Godwin run in that area, the guy who's closest towards the sideline, and there should be a little bubble for him. Watch. As you see, Mayfield takes the snap. That's his read. Godwin is wide open on this play. It's underneath, right? 3rd down and 16. This is a tough situation to try and get the first down, but you're trying to gain some yards, and something good can happen. And watch as Mayfield throws this one to Godwin, who does a great job of turning upfield, and he nearly got the first down. It was actually ruled short by about a yard, so okay, that helps. But Tampa Bay decided to go for it anyway, and they ended up getting the, they got the first down regardless on the next play, and then got the touchdown. So these are the types of plays, the types of baby steps you want to see this offense making. And something like this, the Rachaad White checkdown game was, a big part of what Tom Brady did last season. And, whether it was with him or whichever running back, was a big part of when the Buccaneers, it's a big part of this Tom Brady's philosophy in general. But if teams are going to take away the deep stuff, underneath is often going to be open. Have your two receivers who are lined up close to the line or at the line run deeper routes, and then you're going to have White just run underneath here on this 3rd down and 7. Watch as Mayfield takes the snap. He looks over, and White is open. There is a Houston player who can look over and sort of see what could be happening. But watch how White makes the catch and is able to make a move, and he, again, was not ruled in the end zone, was ruled just short, but got a touchdown on the next play, so no worries. Fantasy football fans, you still got his touchdown there if you have him on your team. But just in general, these are the types of things that you can do to counteract the defense that teams are playing against you. There are still some of these things that drive me crazy. I mean, like, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of how the offense has been run since Bruce Arians has retired. I've kind of just accepted this is how it's going to go, but like this drive, it drives me crazy. It does. Okay, you're up 7 points, 5 minutes, 17 seconds left. Let's see what you do first down. Well, big surprise, they're going to hand the ball off to Keyshawn Vaughn, who gains a couple of yards. Again, not much he could do there. That brings up a 2nd down and 7. And again, people are blaming the running backs for some of the failures. I think it's more of this is an offensive line that pass protects pretty well, but doesn't run block that well. That's how I view it. But anyway, okay, 2nd down and 7. That's fine. Okay, establish the run, sure. Let's see what happens on this play. Well, Mayfield is going to once again hand the football off, and I'm going to pause it right here. I mean, this should not have gotten you anything. We should realistically be looking at a 3rd down and 6 here. To Vaughn's credit on this play, who maybe, hasn't shown a lot since getting drafted in the 3rd round, makes a good play on this one, sets up a 3rd down and 3 situation, which realistically, if you're running on 1st and 2nd down for Tampa Bay, this is kind of the best case scenario, is setting up a 3rd down and 3 situation. So here is the play. It's going to be, again, like I said, 3rd down and 3. You got one shot to try and get the 1st down. Well, what is Mayfield going to do? Well, as you see, he's going to do what they did earlier. Try to get the ball to the halfback, but you can only go to the well so many times. Good defense by Houston. I don't really even hate that decision on 3rd down. I think that's fine. It was working. Sure, try to make it happen here. What I hate is playing for a 3rd down. That's just not good football. It's one of those things that drives me crazy that you see offensive coordinators do, where it's like their mindset is to, give yourself as good of odds to get a 3rd down conversion. It's like the best odds of getting a 3rd down conversion are never seeing 3rd down, right? Get the 1st down on the first 2 plays. You don't even have to worry about this situation. The difference between a 3rd down and 7 and a 3rd down and 3 really isn't that much of a difference. There is a difference for sure, but it's not worth giving up an entire extra play to do it, which is why you should really be careful when running the ball on 2nd down and should probably almost never run pass. It's almost always a bad idea, especially when your running game isn't very good like Tampa Bay's isn't. Some fans have been pounding the table saying they got to stop doing this. They got to start, getting out of this mindset, this conservative mindset. They're not going to. It's how Todd Bowles wants his offense to be run. This is just, you can blame Dave Canales if you want, but he's doing what the boss is telling him to do, right? Like this is, even if they got a different offensive coordinator, it would be someone that Bowles hires who will also do this. Like it is what it is. And in the second half, he was still really good. The offense was, listen, I mentioned earlier on in this video, hey, you can't have your entire offense just be throw the ball up to Mike Evans. But you know what? It's still a pretty good play sometimes. Watch as Mayfield's going to run the play action. He is going to look down the field. He fires down the field. You see right here, Evans he's open. And really, he's wide open. This is Mike Evans one-on-one. There was a safety deep, but the safety moved in. So at this point, this is what Evans does. There's a reason why teams pretty much always play 2 safety deep against Tampa Bay, and it's because of Mike Evans. Watch how on this play, it was actually a bit of an underthrown football by Baker, but again, better to get the completion and be down at the 1-yard line, which is what happened, than miss it and have it be incomplete altogether. So you'll take that, certainly. And again, it's just a good play by Mayfield. Also, this one, which should have been the game winner if there was, any semblance of a defense. I forgot to mention it in my main video where I just gave my reaction, but, Todd Bowles specifically chose not to take a 10-second runoff earlier on, which I don't know why you're doing that. And, a timeout helps you more because you have enough time. But again, regardless, I'll go crazy questioning all of Todd Bowles' decisions in this one. So let's just move on. It's going to be just Cade Otton going over the middle. You're going to have, the player I've circled in black for Houston. That's the guy who's going to be covering him. Watch as Mayfield takes a bit of a low snap. He looks down the field, and you see that really at first, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of separation, but it's less about the separation and more about the fact that since Cade Otton is a little bit past the defender, he can't play the ball at all. He has to just look at Cade Otton. So when Mayfield throws it over to the defender, Otton can adjust to it. The defender cannot. They get a go-ahead touchdown, and that was it. They held on 37-33. Okay, great win. Everyone's happy. Unfortunately for me and for the Buccaneers fans watching this video, it was not meant to be, as the defense definitely let Baker down. But Baker was great. Baker was absolutely great in this game. The offense was great, and this is everything you would hope to see out of an offense. Unfortunately, the defense was just absolutely terrible in this one. And, CJ Stroud and the Texans played great. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.